and welcome everyone to the Decod3rs channel. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And yeah, it's gonna be a special stream again because we have longtime friend Hojidi God with us. MetaJitt here to here to talk about Rave3, like the project that we hear about like everywhere during NFT NYC event.
Let's fucking go, baby.
Yeah. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation, man. That was pretty cool, like to meet you face to face for the first time, man.
For sure. Yeah, like I feel like we should tell people like how we first met, like in the Decod3rs like pre-sale, and like that was pretty funny.
I don't want to. Yeah, like that's gonna be like my first question for you. But before that, I would like have a word about our sponsor, Asset Dash. So for everyone who is not using it, the application, which is like a portfolio to track your NFT and your crypto and even your stock if you have any. I mean, I don't know what you do with stocks, but like diversification, right? And and so yeah, if you use the referral code that we have on the description and even on stream right now, displaying on stream right now, that it's basically a referral code, so it's gonna help the channel grow and generate more revenue for holders, etc., etc. So that's you're helping everyone by downloading Asset Dash with our referral code. And don't forget that we have the big stream on Friday, which is like the greatest giveaway ever. And yeah, you want to be here on that stream too, because we are going to distribute like nice prices for Asset Dash users. And that's it about our sponsor. Now it's all about you, bro.
Let's go.
IVP on the YouTube live. Yes, so for also everyone in the Twitter audience, if you want to see MetaJitt, like his pretty face, you can go on YouTube and I display every link in the Twitter space. So yeah, that's it. That's all. How are you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. Just working a lot, like waking, like basically just been waking up, immediately working, and then like finding like 5 minutes to like have some breakfast, and then fucking working until like 1, 3 a.m. and then just doing it all over again.
Web3 life, right?
Dude, Web3 life is crazy, bro. But it's just like it's not even work, man. It's just like I fucking love this shit. Like it's like, I feel so blessed to just be like working on something that I'm so passionate about, and just doing it with people that like I trust and that I love, and like being able to do it like from the comfort of my home, like with the guys in the background.
Let's go.
Like that shit is just it's like I just feel very blessed right now. And yeah, I'm doing my best to like make sure I'm eating really clean and like taking care of myself, because those are also really important as well.
100%. Yeah, like your health is your wealth, which is your Web3 life, right?
Yeah, dude, zero sugar Gatorade.
That's good far. But yeah, man, like basically we all left for like 9 to 5 jobs to work like 24/7. No, that's legit.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. It's like it's like I literally left like a really nice like 6-figure job, with like health insurance and everything, to like fucking go down like this rabbit hole that's like never ending, right? But it's like I feel like we're all like really crazy, but we have like this inkling that like something really great is gonna come out of this. We just gotta like keep our heads down right now, right? And I think the entire world is kind of going through this period where it's like there's a lot of uncertainty. So the only thing you can really do is just like push the ball forward every day, and like just like look yourself in the mirror and just be like, yo, like I'm growing, like I'm focused on like just growth, and like hopefully that like leads to like some positive outcome.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, like, and also like, health insurance, man, it's overrated, right? So yeah, let's trade JPEGs on internet instead, right?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Way more fun.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, you're building your own company anyway, so you're gonna provide yourself health insurance and shit. So that's worth it, man.
Hell yeah. No, dude, like, yeah. I got my own insurance right now. It's really high deductible. For people who live in the US, you guys know how bad this shit is, but like, whatever, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Exactly. So, bro, like, tell us everything about Rave3. Maybe like, yeah, start like by the pitch line and stuff. If you haven't, like for the people in the audience and on YouTube, if you haven't seen like the video, I pin it on the top of the Twitter space, and I will share it right now on the in the YouTube chat. But bro, you took the crypto timeline by storm. But yeah, like tell us everything. What is Web3 in your own words?
Definitely. Yeah. So like the one liner is that like Rave3 is a Rave themed PFP NFT collection on Solana. And we're focused on spreading positivity and launching a series of social experiments to reward our holders. Right. So like breaking that down, right? Basically like we have this token, right? And we're wrapping this token with this really nice theme, which is like this really beautiful like rave art. So our art's going to be PFPable, and it's going to be both female and male. And nice. One of the primary like values around rave culture is like spreading positivity. There's like this like acronym called PLUR, which is peace, love, unity, respect, right? So like these are like the values we want to exude. So that's why it's like this is why it's like showcased like foremost in our art. And then like all of the things that I have planned for this community and like around our roadmap is just focused on like exuding these values through like really, really like innovative and like fun, I like to call experiments, right? So it's like, the way I'm kind of like, like one thing that we did that kind of like, actually, let me just stop there. Because I want to like build it up. But yeah, like we're just focused on launching like a bunch of like really cool experiments that are really gonna like add value to our holders like directly, and it's going to really like, and we're hoping that all these experiments like really hit like on the timeline, like build a lot of hype. Because one thing that I've really like taken away as of recently is that like the attention economy is like very real, and you need to be like at the forefront of that if you're going to be a creator. And like I view myself as a creator, right? And like I'm trying to create like these beautiful experiences for my holders, well, aka my Rave fam. And like the way I return value to them is by like generating a lot of value like through like the attention economy. So like this is something that you're going to see be like this sort of theme in like everything that we do.
Yes, and like your abbreviation that you explained, that was like the symbol that you made us like do for the video when you give us the bracelet NFT NYC, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. Let me can I talk on that really quick?
No, 100%. Bro, it's your show. You're home. You do what the fuck you want.
Perfect. Okay, so like like going back to like the thing, like the pitch about like social experiments. So like the first social experiment that we dropped that like has kind of like set us off like since like NFT NYC was that we created these like metaphysical candy bracelets. I don't have one on me right now, but it's a candy bracelet that had an NFT attached to it. So all you had to do is just tap your phone to it in like less than like 60 seconds, and with 3 clicks you were able to claim a utility token that you're going to need for our upcoming mint, right? And like the reason why this is like a social experiment is because like first of all, like there's a lot of game theory behind like what are you going to do with this like utility token, and then also it's like we like the way that we distributed this NFT is through like social interaction. So at NFT NYC, we were going up to like me and my co-founder DGen talks. She's not here right now. That's her DGen in the background though, for anyone wondering. She like we were both going around like doing like this like handshake, which is like peace, love, unity, and respect, which is just like it's a tradition in rave culture where like it's a way for people to just like, make friends, right? So like people will like make each other like bracelets and necklaces, and then do like this handshake and exchange bracelets and like give each other hugs. And now you're like friends, and like now you're like dancing on the dance floor and shit, right? And like this is like what we want to do. Like this is the type of like community we're trying to foster, is one that's like very welcoming, and like one that's like very open to like just making connections, because like that's like a big part of like it's a big value prop for communities. It's like having like people in communities that are like willing to like connect with each other. So like we're laying the groundwork for that with our first social experiment, right? So like we have like this like IRL social aspect to it, and now we also have like this gamification like Web3 aspect to it, where it's like, holy shit, now I have like this utility token, and you can go ahead and like sell that on like Tensor Magic Eden for like 15
Yeah.
SOL, but we gave it out for free. But like on Saturday, the floor was at like 30 SOL. So like people are already speculating on like the value for this, and like we haven't even given out like the full like utility for it. But like I'll say right now, like you're gonna want to have that like for our upcoming mint, like for sure. It's gonna be it's I'll tell you right now, it is deflationary, so it's gonna be burnable. But like you might not even have to burn it at the mint, so there might be like utility beyond the mint, and I won't give up too much information about that. But like
No, please
this is just like
don't.
yeah, but I just want people to understand this, because like I really hope that like it gives you like an insight into like how I'm thinking about things. Like I'm really focusing on like experimentation, both on like the blockchain level and like on the social IRL level, right? Like if we can like fuse these two realities, we can create such amazing content and like really build like these super memorable experiences, right? And yeah, I think there's just so much value to be had from that. So
yeah, I mean, like it's with Web3 friend, it's crazy to connect for the first time. Like the first interaction after spending months on Discord and like talking to each other and meeting like for the first time, like at the NFT event, it's crazy, right? Like the feeling is insane. And like again, like having this first interaction with like again like the bracelet, the NFT, etc. That was so powerful.
yeah, I agree, dude. It was so great to meet you, IRL.
Yeah.
So many like of the DGen holders and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's like another thing that like I've really been like mulling over, is like how special that DGen's hotel was. Like, dude, I didn't go to any events. Like, I didn't go to any events. I didn't like. I just hung out at the hotel with my community. You know what I'm saying? And like now I have a bunch of DGen supporters for Rave3, and like those people are gonna be a part of like the Rave3 community too, right? And it was all just because like, for me, when I got there, I realized immediately like how overwhelming like the whole experience was gonna be. But then I realized like, yo, like I am at the DGen hotel. Like this is where everyone is. Like I don't really need to be anywhere else. Like I just need to be with my community, and that's like where all the value would be generated. And like I'll tell you right now, like I didn't connect with so many people.
Yeah.
I connected with a few people, and I had a few really powerful conversations, and like that has really laid the groundwork for both like Rave3 and for like just like my own personal growth. Like I had a lot of really awesome like connections. Like I connected with you. I connected with Sunny, Patty Ice, like dude, like fucking a few of like the like DGen whales, just like some really good people, even like non-DGen holders too, that were just hanging out at the place. Like it's just like it's just like I was just taking notes, bro. Like this is just like community building 101, and like this is where all the value is generated for like NFT collections is focusing on community and like bringing that value right back to your holders. So like shout out to Frank on that.
And like, okay, so how do you connect people IRL with like internet community, right? Because again, like I'm not going to New York like every weekend, right? So if like your community is like US centric, like then I will not connect like as much as I should if it's like the core features of your projects, right? How are you going to tackle this problem or issue or like resolve that?
Yo, that's a great question, and I feel like I have the inside alpha on this. And I guess like the reason being is because I'm already part of an international community, like that has like IRL meetups throughout the world, like almost weekly. So like for people who don't know, like a little bit about my background is that like my like a big part of my love for rave culture is like the dance culture within raving, and like specifically is like shuffling. So like I'm a shuffler, right? And I shuffled a little bit competitively, but I also like I practice a lot in my spare time. Like it's something that like I like it like spiritually like just really aligns to me. But like why I fell in love with it was because like one thing about like the community was just really big. Like that's how I met my girlfriend. So like I met her by going to like a meetup. There was like a meetup like in a town and a few towns over where like dancers would just get together and shuffle. And like New York has like shufflers. Miami, LA, Barcelona, London, like Turkey, like all these different countries, like all these different cities, like they all have shufflers, right? And all these shufflers are hosting like these little meetups like all around the world, right? And they're just like they're not just like shuffling together, but they're like also like, doing other like arts together, or they're like, going to eat together, or they're going to raves together, right? And like they're creating like these like different connections, but like it's all tied back to like the fact that they love like this type of music and that they can get down to this type of music, right? And like from that, like I realized like how powerful it is to just have like one or two people like in like one specific area of the world who can just go ahead and like evangelize like these small meetups. And like these small meetups, like you don't have to fucking like have like an open bar, bro. You just need to have like a nice park. You just need to have a nice park, or like a nice view, or like some nice like hidden location, like some nice gem, and like a nice speaker, right? And you can bring some people together, bring like a 6-pack, I don't even drink, but like bring some snacks, fuck it, right? And like you can like start to cultivate these communities, and then you can share these experiences online, right? You just gotta make sure you share these experiences online in a way that can be amplified, right? And like as Rave3 grows, and like as we like build this like foundational community, we will use each other to like amplify like these meetups and these communities that we're trying to build, right? Like, dude, this is like, I've actually never talked about this, but like this is something that's just been in the back of my head, and how I'm like thinking about like how I want to grow the community. It's like, I have fucking ravers in Chicago, I have fucking ravers in Miami, I have in LA, I have them like in Oregon, like, dude, I have like people ready to fucking go like throughout the US, and then I have people like in South America and in Europe as well. Like once we get like the Rave3 off the ground, like post mint, and like really start to organize, like I think that I have a real competitive advantage to like mobilizing these IRL experiences, right? And I know for a fact that like, because I'm right now like in the New Jersey, New York area, like whatever Rave3 holders are gonna be here, like we're gonna get down. Like we're gonna fucking get down. Like I don't need to like drop like 10K and throw in an epic party or some shit. Like I already know ways that like we're gonna like return value back to holders, and like that's just gonna blow up, and we're gonna throw that shit on the timeline. That's just gonna blow up. Like I'm already like, I see it and I'm fucking hype about it. But yeah, it's just like, dude, I've been a part of an international community. Like I understand like how this, like I have an inkling of like how we can get this started, right? So like, we'll iterate.
No, and that's pretty cool. And honestly, like what you have done with like at NFT NYC, that you can do that when you go to a rave and like meet new people and onboard them into Solana too, right? Like with the network and like the chain specificities, like it's the chain to onboard people who are not into NFT neither, right? And you make them like having the first ravers NFT as the first, like the first NFT, and that's pretty dope. That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah. And like people who go to rave, like so ravers, right? How do they communicate right now on the internet? Like, do they have I don't know, like Discord group, or like how does that work? How do you communicate to each other or create your communities right now?
Yeah. So two things really quick. So I guess like I just want to preface this for everyone that's like listening right now, is that like we are a rave themed NFT collection, but like our top of the like we want DGens. Like we want fucking DGens in here, right? And I'll tell you right now, like DGens can be ravers, they can be NFT holders, they can be whatever the fuck, like, but just like FYI, like what we're doing is rave themed. A lot of the shit that we're gonna be doing is like rave themed, right? And a lot of like the community building is like I'm taking from like rave culture, but like don't get it twisted. Like our top of the funnel is very wide. It's not just for ravers. But anyways, like you were saying, like right now, like one, like a lot of ravers connect the same way that like these NFT DGens connect. I'm in Discords where it's like a private group of like ravers who are like actively buying and selling like Coachella tickets, like EDM tickets, right? They have the alpha on like all the big shows coming up, etc. Like I'm in some of those Discords, and then like there's a lot of ravers who are also like influencers, not Twitter influencers, but like Instagram influencers, TikTok influencers, and like they're using Discords to like help amplify like their content, right? They're creating like these small communities, right? So like these are all things that like I'm watching happen in like other communities, and like I'm gonna bring that over to Rave3, right? Like I'm gonna figure out how we can like integrate it. But it's like, dude, it's like the more like each and every week I'm having like more and more one-on-one calls with like some big people, both from the Solana side and now from the ETH side, right? And like, dude, there's a lot of fucking ravers who are also like these NFT DGens who are like buying like 20 ETH NFT, 20 ETH NFTs, and like who are buying like, there's a lot of DGen holders who like to rave, right? Like there's a lot of overlap between these like cultures, and like I'm really going to expose that. Cool. And like that was like that was like the little gap that I saw like really early on. I was like, yo, there's penguin themed NFT projects, there's God themed NFT projects, there's lion themed NFT projects. I'm like, where's the rave theme, right? Dude, rave culture in itself is like exploding right now. Some like research group just came out, and like all of the numbers are just up and to the right in terms of like number of shows, number of like fans. It's going to go mainstream, similar to how like some NFT collections will go mainstream. Like this shit is going to go mainstream, and like I'm definitely going to try to ride that wave, right? And like it's just like, dude, it's just a really interesting time to be kind of like positioned in both of these realities.
And that's pretty cool, because like you haven't answered like one of my next question, which is like the why. What's your why to launch this collection, and like why you are like a good fit to doing that, and like the fact that you are shuffler and like ravers, etc. It's perfect. Like it's all aligned, and you also have like the connection like outside of the NFT world to make your connection successful. So pretty cool, man.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, like so like the other side is like, okay, I'm a raver, I'm a shuffler, I'm a fucking NFT DGen, but like I'm a software engineer.
Also,
like, I took a coding boot camp during the quarantine while everyone was just like inside, right? Did that shit. I invested a bunch of money into Solana, and I just fell in love, and I ended up working at like all of these sick companies. Like I worked at Polygon. Like I didn't know Polygon was gonna be that epic, right? I ended up working at Sharky.fi. Sharky.fi is like the #1 protocol on Solana, like for DeFi. Like that shit's epic, right? And I worked at Metaplex, which is like the company that literally built the technology for NFTs. And like Metaplex specifically, like I feel like that's like a super important piece to like highlight in my resume, because while I was there, I was like getting the inside scoop of like all of like the technical like capabilities and like life cycles that an NFT can take, right? And like I am like basically like just using all of that information that I took from there, and now I want to like apply it to like these tokens that I'm launching, these NFTs, right? Like the wristband is like a perfect example. Like how do we like take an NFT and like incorporate into like IRL experiences, right? Like how do we make like NFTs like more of like an ID? Like how do we like you know, attach like videos to like these NFTs? How do we you know, like how can we like take these NFTs apart and like make them like almost like you know, make them like more fungible, right? Like taking them off like you know, maybe giving an NFT, like allowing an NFT to hold another NFT. Like what kind of gamification can you create with that, right? Like these are things that like I personally don't believe that a lot of founders are like aware of. Like there's a lot of like use cases for NFTs that I don't think a lot of founders are aware of, and they're not aware of it until like they get approached by companies like Metaplex or companies that are like, you know, trying to really innovate on the tech side. But it's like, yo, I sit on that tech side, so like I'm like watching all of this shit happen. Like I'm watching what's happening on the ETH side, I'm watching what happened on the Sol side, and like also Rave3 is partners with Metaplex, just like an FYI. Like I have full access to like their eng team and to like creator studios. Like I just had a call today with like the CEO. Like, dude, we're fucking locked in, bro. Like Rave3 is gonna be like working on like as much cutting edge tech as possible, as long as it makes sense and as long as it returns value directly back to the holders.
That's pretty dope, man. Yeah, like I also been approached like for the creative studio stuff. I'm excited about that. That's gonna be a nice tool from Metaplex. They're cooking, man.
For real. Yo, don't sleep on Metaplex. Those are my fucking boys. Like, all love for them.
Let's go. And yeah, like VP from YouTube Live, my bracelet broke. I was so sad. See? Like sentimental attachment.
I'll get you with another one. Don't worry. Those were just the prototypes.
Yeah. And yeah, like that's exactly like that's also like we got like so well. We understand each other because we kind of like the similar profile between like DGen and like NFT holders and dev. And I remember our first conversation like when we try like from the OG Decod times. And like our conversation was like when we were working at Polygon and stuff. That was pretty cool, man. And it's pretty nice to see what you're cooking now, and that's exciting, man.
Dude, thank you. Yeah, dude. It's I think one thing that's really cool about Web3 is that because it moves so quick, like both of us have just like learned a lot, like we've sat in a lot of different like roles, and it's just gotten us to where we need to be in a much quicker time, right?
100%. 100%.
Might have shaved a few life years off our lifespan, but like, fuck it, right? Like
let's go. Fuck it, we ball, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And okay, so also like I've checked the website and stuff. So right now there is also like a leaderboard when like you're tracking like people on Twitter and like they get points. How does that work? Like, what do you rank them for? And how do you rank them, by the way?
Yeah, great question. So like, for people who aren't aware, we dropped a video last week which basically exposed our second social experiment, which is called the Bull Board.
Yeah.
And basically what happened, maybe it's like 8 or 9 weeks ago at this point, I had I was like thinking like, okay, how can we bring value directly back to Solana? Like, how can we come into the ecosystem and like be like, yo, like we're coming and we're gonna like provide value. We're not gonna extract. We're gonna just like give all the love. And we found out that like toxicity on Solana is just like overwhelmingly terrible, and it's just like so fucked up. And like if you're a DGOT holder listening to this, like you totally get it, right? But like even if you're not a DGOT holder, like if you're just an Ethereum, I had a call with an Ethereum with someone on the east side, and he was like, "Yo, I got a mad lad, but like now that like after I flexed it, now all I see on my timeline is just like soul people just talking hella shit on like just the most random things." And he's like, "Yo, how do I get out of all this chaos?"
Dark.
Dude, it's actually kind of bad. It's like pretty bad. It's like really like so objectively, like there's this issue, right, with Solana right now. It's that like we have a very active community, which is beautiful, but like it's just there's just like this like toxic like layer going on. And I wanted to find a way to, like subside that or like, like combat it basically. But I came up with a 3-component solution, which is basically a game that I designed to be as frictionless as possible for the end user. And it's called the Bull Board. And when you go to our website, ravers.io, you see a leaderboard. And on this leaderboard, we have like over 40,000 people on this leaderboard. It's like basically all of Solana Twitter. So like anyone from any collection who's rocking like any Solana PFP, like you'll see them on this leaderboard. And this leaderboard is basically tracking how positive you are. Like, are you a positive MFer basically? And like you earn points by like completing tasks that are focused around being positive, bullish, and like community building around Rave3. At the moment though, like the game, like we aren't actually tracking anybody. We actually paused that after we launched launched the site last week. We put it on pause over the weekend right now because we're optimizing the back end, making some additions. But you could see that like we had the game running essentially for like the last like 3 or 4 weeks. And people are, and if some people, if you go to claim your profile, like you'll see that you've earned points and you'll see what you earned points for. And like some of these tasks are like as simple as like just saying GM. Like GM's just like a positive thing. Everyone loves saying GM, saying GN. Like, shilling your like NFT bag, like saying something positive about like an NFT collection. Like, like fucking Galactic Geckos is a great collection. Like you'll earn points for that, right? Like again, like what we want, like the way I designed the game was like, yo, how can we build, like how can we like not have people like change like their behavior necessarily, but like lean into like their more positive side, right?
Yeah.
But like that's why these tasks are like, okay, like these are things that people are already doing. So like let's just have them like lean into it a little bit more when we expose like these are the specific tasks. And we haven't exposed the specific tasks yet. We'll do that post mint, right?
Okay.
But anyways, that's the first component, right? Is this Bull Board. The second component is a Twitter bot that we call the Bull bot, and that Bull bot basically brings the game directly to where everyone's hanging out, right? Because the thing is that, like, you know, there's this website, right, the Bull board, that's just somewhere off in the metaverse, but like, you know, to get anyone to go to it is like probably pretty hard, right? Because getting anyone to do anything is like really fucking hard. So we're gonna bring the game directly to where you guys are hanging out. So like, you know, you could be just like, you know, saying GM one day and or like saying like, yo, okay, bears are gonna go to 100, right? And that might be a task, right? And the bull board might come and like find you and be like, yo, that's a W, take, here's 100 points, right? Or the bull board might be like, yo, first 1,000 people to tweet something bullish about fucking I don't know, like famous foxes get 100 points, right? Or it might be like, yo, here are the top 10 most positive MFers, and like it'll show like the top scores of the last 24 hours, right?
Okay.
Or it might just be like, you know, just like, you know, like positive posting like under people's tweets, right? Like we just have like this bot that'll basically just be engaging with people on the timeline, like showcasing like that there's this action that like there's this game going on and like that you're activated into it, right? And like again, like it's just to reduce like the friction, right? Like it's all about just like reducing friction and just making it feel like you're not really playing a game, right? You're just like doing your thing, right? And then like at the same time, you're also like farming these points that are gonna like lead to like the third component, which is the airdrop, right? And like, yo, if you farm these points, then like you have like this airdrop coming through, and like we know DGens love airdrops, right? Like airdrops are like the fucking like wave. Like we just had airdrop season like a few weeks ago, and now we have shitcoin season. But like, you know, ETH MFers especially love airdrops. Sol MFers are getting a taste for it, right? Like once we get that liquidity flowing, like that fucking that like care package is gonna be nice and juicy, right? But yeah, we our third component is this airdrop. And basically what's gonna happen is like people are gonna earn these points. These points are then gonna be able to be redeemed for these rewards, these like in profile rewards that we created. Similar to like you know, maybe like those loot boxes you see in like Blur or like Tensor. And then those are going to be exchanged for an airdrop basically at the end of the season of the game. So you know, I can't give out too much details around like airdrop, but I will say that like my best advice to people that are going to participate in the game is that you're going to want to mint or you're going to want to buy a Rave3 NFT as soon as this game gets going, because like if you hold your Rave3 NFT throughout the duration of the game, you will receive like a multiple on your airdrop reward, right? So, you know, that being said, like even if you don't hold a Rave3 NFT, you're going to be able to claim an airdrop reward. You're right. You're going to be able to claim it, right? This is for everybody, right?
Okay.
Like most importantly, like you know me, I take care of my people first, right? And that's why you want to hold. And like that's like that's going to be one of our big delisting incentivization mechanisms, right? So it's
that's pretty cool because there is a huge like you know, like incentive, like even to go viral for you for the content, right? Like you will have like more and more tweets like redirected to Rave3 and like beneficial. Yeah, you can basically clean the timeline and you get free money because you were a nice guy. So that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's just like why wouldn't you want to be like positive, and why wouldn't you want to like, you know, like farm some airdrop just for being like a good guy, right? It's
But the tricky thing is like you're making more views and more retweets when you are toxic or you have like a bad take or whatever, right? So how do you like balance that inconvenience with social network that being a bitch basically pay you more than being a nice guy?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think so. Like the right now, like there's like what we've like, you know, right now there is this website called NFT Inspect. And NFT Inspect like encourages like this type of behavior right now as it stands. It encourages like shit posting, right? It encourages like negative interactions, right? Because like any type of interaction, like it takes you to the top of its leaderboard, right? And like, you know, dude, people, you know, right now that's the meta. Like NFT Inspect has literally changed the way people interact on Twitter, right? And what we're doing right now is like we're kind of like taking the reverse side of this, and it's like, yo, we want to
That's pretty
promote
cool.
we want to promote positivity, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what we want to do, right? And it's like, yo, you can go ahead, and like, you know, farm NFT Inspect, right? But like, is NFT Inspect giving you anything? Like, is NFT Inspect like conducive to the growth of this ecosystem?
It's
Like,
a flex.
we're in a bear market right now, right?
Yeah.
Think about this. We're in a bear market right now, and like, has NFT Inspect like contributed to the ecosystem in like a positive way or a negative way in like these last few months, right? Like who is at the top of these leaderboards over there, right? Like that's what you gotta be asking yourself, right? And like the thing is, like, yo, like again, like this game is gonna be driven on like what this airdrop's gonna be, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, my mind is definitely focused on like driving that demand, right? And like the way I'm gonna drive that demand is there's like a few levers that you need to pull, right?
Yeah.
And all that's gonna go back to Twitter, right? And I'm focused on doing that and getting the right names behind it, right? There's a lot of really positive influencers that I want to corral around
Yeah.
Rave3. And if they're watching this right now, like, yo, we gotta talk, like for real. But yeah,
That's
like, you
cool.
know, there's obviously there's gonna be a clash of incentives, right? I think that like if Rave3 is able to corral the right group of like, you know, influencers to support us and back us, I think that we have a really good shot to like really get this game like going, right? And especially like
That's
if
cool.
we align these tasks to be tasks that can go viral,
Yeah.
right? It's like, all right, like we might be cooking. Like
it's good content. It can be really good content. Like you can steal the timeline all the fucking time because people will farm like positive tweet. But like, okay, so what? Even like we again like another comment from VPIF. I always get told I'm so wholesome, like it's a bad thing. So there is that too. Like, how do you deal with irony or like even like influencers that going to like gonna promote fucking pump and dump and are going to say nice things about it, but the project is shit too, right? So you're getting points for doing a nice action because you are nice too, right? So like, how does that work?
Yeah, that's a good question. So like right now, like there won't be like you won't receive points for like chilling some random Pepe coin for a meme coin or for like upcoming mints. Like they will like that would not be like we have like parameters set up so that like people can't like
whitelist. Yeah.
On top of that, like the game is designed with 0 runaway reinforcement loops. And like for people that don't know what that is, a runaway reinforcement loop is basically when like you can become like a giga chat in a game. Like for instance, you're playing like you're playing like a fighting game and like one player just becomes like too powerful that no one can defeat him, right? Like that's called like a runaway reinforcement loop. It just ruins the game for everybody else because that one person is just like farming all the rewards and like just unbeatable, right? So we designed the game so that like you can't become like spammy with like, you know, the way you farm this game. You can't like, you know, say GM a million times a day and like earn points, right? Like the tasks are going to be pretty specific, right? And like you're gonna like and like again they're going to be aligned with things that you're going to be doing, like things that you already do, but like we're making it in a way so that like you can't like be spammy about this, and you can't like you can't look like a fucking herb for like doing some of this shit. Like we promise. Like
that could be like yeah, technically that's gonna be interesting, like to check like all of the like the 1,000 of tweets that you will have to check every day with like those 40K people. That could be that's gonna be a nice engineering behind it, man. Do you analyze like the sentiment of the sentence, like technically, or how do you do that that way, or even AI? Do you use AI for that?
Yeah, I will say that we are using like there's a bit of AI working on the back end.
That's cool. Let's go.
Yeah, we've been training. It's been a bit of manual training. So we're doing like the team is like manually training it, but then we're also we're also like, you know, taking data from like just like directly from like timeline. But yeah, like, you know, we fed it a lot of DGen. Like we fed it a lot of DGen.
That's cool.
Very early on. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And like again, VP, like NFT Inspect, I think they were supposed to go off, but like the community went back to like told them like to basically back them up, and they're still alive, right? It's still an active project, right?
Yeah, I actually heard that they're going to be launching some new shit pretty soon. Like I've been hearing I heard there's a token that might be coming out and shit. Like yeah, they're cooking, bro. They got bought up and now they're ready to
exactly.
Yeah, so
that's good. And that means like people are asking that because again, asking for a service like that because again, you can flex the rank that you have on NFT Inspect on the timeline, and then it's like a big dig contest, but that's still fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's NFT Inspect has done a really great job at like a lot of things. It's just that like I think that the next run up, like the next things that they push out really need to consider like how it can be like how to make it more of a net positive for everyone, you know. Especially if they're going to decide, especially if they are going to start monetizing. So that's something that we're about to see too. They definitely have a few plans to like monetize. So we'll see. But like I look at NFT Inspect as like a product, right? And I look at what we're doing as like an experiment, right? And you know, I'm not like ignorant. Like this definitely could be like a proof of concept to something, right? Like this could turn into like something that could be valuable to not just Rave3, but to other communities, right?
Yeah, 100%.
We're just gonna run with it and see what happens, though, right? I just wanna like fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I mean, like you can imagine, like for example, like Decod community, like coming up to you and saying, okay, who's the best guys on the timeline? And you give them like the top 10 Decod positive guys, and those people will get like a special, I don't know, dust giveaway or another youth or whatever, right? It could be cool, or like whatever. But yeah, you can imagine like partnership between collection because of like for the top holders and like more impactful people on crypto Twitter, because again, it's important.
Like we basically created like a game. We created like a game for you to like distribute out rewards in like whatever way you want, basically.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. Okay, and so what will be like your business model like for you? How do you make money? How do you make that sustainable business?
For what? Like the bull board?
For Rave3, like for your whole collection, like how do you make money for yourself, for your company?
Yeah. So you know the way that like I'm viewing Rave3 right now is that you know we have like a number of different experiments that we plan on launching that we think could turn into like revenue sources, right? And we're gonna turn the faucets on when the end of the bull board stop. Like once that that game is done, that's when we're going to start to reveal more of like these are like the type of things that we want to do to like generate revenue, right? But like at the core, like we create NFTs, like we create digital assets, right? And like I think there's a lot of ways you can go about creating like really sustainable business models by like leveraging like digital assets and creating like these gamified experiences, right? But like it's just like you got to be like for me, it's like I'm trying to be very careful to not like pigeonhole us into like anything, right? Like the last thing I ever want to be is like a fucking utility project. Like fuck, like dude's like fuck utility, bro. Like I am trying to build a really strong brand that's powered by a really strong community, right? And then like see like what kind of tech can come out of that, right? And like what like how can we create like these really unique experiences, right? So I think that like the experience aspect is something, the experience aspect is something that we want to monetize off of. But like right now to like say that we have like you know to just like say that like oh we want to do this specifically, I think it could pigeonhole us and like you know anchor us basically to like you know a certain floor price, and I don't want to do that for my holders or anyone.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, that's the curse of a utility project, right?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be careful.
And yeah, have you thought about any like catch-up mechanism? Because like for example, like if I become like positive on the timeline 6 months after, how can I catch up with the top 10 people who did that? Or like do I need to buy more to have more multipliers? So then I can like make more tweets, etc., and compete like that? Or I'm basically fucked to be like in the top 10,000 because I didn't start when it started.
Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, I would say like one of the ways that like you know we made it so like there's no like runaway reinforcement loops is that like with like the bullbot specifically is going to be able to like the bullbot is going to like make announcements sometimes that are going to be like, yo, first 100 people to tweet something bullish about DGods gets like 1,000 points, right? Like a boot like gets like double like gets like 1,000 points, which is maybe double what you would typically get from like for like the bull post of the day, right? Like this gives an opportunity for people who are trying to catch up, like who are at the bottom of the leaderboard to like catch up, because you can capture like these like double XP sort of scenarios, right? So we have those kind of like ingrained into the game as well to allow people to like climb the ranks, but also like if that Giga Chat's just kind of sitting there waiting for those double XP, he's gonna eat that up too.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, we're trying to make it so that everyone's gonna have an opportunity to like capture value at the end of the game.
But that could be really tricky, like really fast, because okay, so I can basically have a bot myself that will tweet, that will watch out for your bot tweet, and have the bot that gonna get that first tweet and get like the point for myself, and that could be tricky. Kind of like the same behavior that we see with like a Raven from Blocksmith, where they were promoting like the tweet on Raven, and then like it got like instant botted by 50, 100 bots, and the engagement below those tweets were fucked because of that automation process. Could be tricky to solve.
Yeah. I think that like that's like a pretty easy solve with us, because like you have to be a real person to like claim this airdrop at the end of the game.
Okay.
Like we have it set up that like you need to have a Twitter. Twitter needs to have a certain has to have been around.
Oh, okay. So you verify your people.
Yeah. We're verifying.
Okay.
Like it's just like people can go ahead and create these bots. Like I don't give a fuck, bro. Okay. Like you're not gonna like get around that shit.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, no, I understand.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, because this is like I've seen like like shout out to my boy Snooze, Alpha Pharaohs. Like the rate to earn meta is like very interesting, but like that's something that like we're staying away from, and like we see all the pitfalls with it. Like we see it, like but those pitfalls do not like align with like any of the pitfalls that like we could be facing on our end.
Okay.
At least from like what I've like studied so far.
That's cool. And am I in the list of the players?
You definitely should be, bro. You definitely should be. If not, you just gotta go ahead and claim that account, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay. So leaderboard. I need to claim it.
Okay. Then
it's pinning. I have to claim it.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. So like also maybe like I don't know if the devs are doing.
That's okay. Maybe I'm not positive enough, bro. That's so deceptive.
What's been your PFP? What's been your PFP? Like
it's Decod, like the East Decod stuff. Maybe that's what I don't know. But it was like the Decod before.
Okay. I mean, you should be on the board though, so I'll have to look back into that.
I will check. I will check it again after. That's fine. It's all good, man. No offense taken.
Okay, bro. Okay.
And what would be like the all those benefits of your NFT? Is there anything on the roadmap than a multiplier for like the game, or like how does that work?
Yeah, so I like to tell people that like, the bull board is really an experiment, right? But this experiment is like laying the groundwork for everything else that we have cooking. Like everything. Like we have a roadmap that's lined out through Q4, right? So we're gonna be doing a bunch of shit, like a bunch of more experiments that are gonna be coming, and it's gonna come right off the tail of like the end of the bull board. So, I can't give away any more than that, to be honest, because it's just like it'd ruin the go-to-market strategy.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now that like there's a lot of delisting incentivization mechanisms. There's a lot of value that's going to be coming right back to like our holders. Like, and there's going to be a lot of okay. So I never said this, but like a lot of like the experiences that we're creating, I'm focused, like they need to have these two things. They need to be able to drive hype, and they need to be able to like encourage like social sharing, like on the timeline. Like those are two really important things, right? So like all of these experiments that we have lined up are focused on these, are going to be like incorporating these two aspects, right? And those aspects are going to very directly return value back to our holders. Yeah, sorry, I got a message. But yeah, this is like if you can just like if for everyone that's listening, if you can just like take those 2 points into consideration, hype and social sharing, those are going to be incorporated into our experiments. Like I think that should get you really excited because like that's how I'm trying to like frame everything. Because again, like we got to capture attention. And the reason why we got to capture attention is because we got to capture the attention, the people's attention, so we can take their fucking liquidity and bring that over to Rave3, bro. Like that is like,
let's go.
That is like the goal, right? It really is a liquidity game, right? You just got to break it down, and that's something that Frank has talked about. But yeah,
I think like all Decod founders like get educated like pretty fast with like the Frank's mindset, and that's a good thing,
dude. Yeah, like. I mean, it's just like you're literally watching like a master class, right? Yeah. And like for me, it was just like, all right, taking notes from Frank, but like I wasn't just taking notes from Frank. Like I went back and I studied the history of Bored Ape. You know, like, dude, like Bored Ape has like a really interesting history. Like a lot of people don't know this, but like Pranksy, who is like one of the like OG most influential crypto accounts on Twitter. Like he got in on Bored Ape pre-sale, right? And he was like one of the main catalysts for it selling out, right? Like you know, like Bored Ape didn't just happen, you know. Like I started to study like how these things kind of happen. Same with Azuki, same with like Doodles, like you know, understanding like what Kevin Rose did that was like a little different, right? Like I really have taken the time to like study the history of like what's made things like tick and like successful, just because like there's a lot of lessons to be learned. And it's not just like with NFTs. I've also studied a lot about DeFi. Like DeFi was like my first love, right? So I would tell you right now, like this entire, like over the last few months, like I've read every white paper, you know, I've reread the Bitcoin white paper a few times, you know, read like dozens of articles on like GMX to understand what they were doing. You know, Uniswap, Blur, right? Like there's a lot of like really interesting tokenomics, a lot of really interesting protocols on like a lot of really interesting ways in which like these like protocols and products are like bringing liquidity over to them, building communities. And like these are all things that like I want to understand so that like, you know, I can like maybe apply these things to Rave3 in some way.
Yeah, I mean, like the blueprint is like in every NFT project that are like quite successful, right? And we can do that, like bring your own sauce to the whole like concept of it. And yeah, like let's go.
Let's fucking go, baby.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, like talking about like tokenomics, like any Rave3 token coming up post mint or pre-mint?
Yeah, possibly. You know, fucking not like, dude, I'm fucking cooking it with my like I have a really good team of like legal. I'm working on some shit. Like dude, this is like we're living in such a beautiful time. Like we literally can create like digital assets and like people can like put like this intrinsic value on it, like, and then like we can create these entire economies, right? And it's like, okay, that can either be really bad or it can be really good, right? But like, you know, my intentions are like pure. I'm really trying to like do something that it's just like really beneficial to a lot of people, right? And like I want Rave3 to be synonymous with positivity. Like I want like Solana Foundation, Solana Labs to like look at Rave3 as like, yo, this is like a wholesome project. This is like a project we want like representing our blockchain, right? Like I want like Rave3 to be like a great poster child for just like Web3 in general. Like it's just like we want to like that's what we want to. We just want to showcase the best. That, you know, I think that it's like super important. Like especially now during the bear market where we've cleansed away all of the toxic motherfuckers, and now all that's left is like just like the real builders. And now it's time to showcase like, yo, like there's not everyone is a scammer. Like we're actually here trying to do something impactful. You know, to what scale, who knows? But like, you know, as long as you can make like as long as you can bring some positivity to like someone's life, like that's like super impactful in itself. You like, you don't know how far that can go, you know?
No, listen. Just wait for Solana to go back up to $40 and those like toxic motherfuckers. I will come back to the timeline. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, true, bro. I can't wait for that though.
Yeah. And okay, so we would have like talk about all of the components of a collection, and what's left is the art, bro. So what makes a great PFP?
Yeah, dude. Yo, this is like, dude. I mean, like, yo, there's. This has been so fucking. This has been like the biggest challenge around this collection. I mean, okay, just like for full disclosure, since I've gone back from NFT NYC, we've hired another artist. So I'm paying another artist. I'm actually paying them on a full-time salary. I've been working with this artist. We were having sessions twice a day for like multiple hours a day. I'm going to the late night with this guy. No pause, no homo.
That's good. That's good. That's okay. That's positive.
Yeah. And we're just fucking cranking out the artwork. We have 3 other artists as well. So like, now the team's at 4.
Yeah.
And basically like, dude, I just have been putting so much time into this art. And like, even like we started working on this art in July, right?
Fuck.
And it's just been a lot of iterations, a lot of going back and forth, trying to figure out like, what's the storyboard, what makes us unique, right? And like, there's a formula, 100%. There's a formula to making great PFP art. Johnny D Gods, he has that down, right? And like the formula is pretty simple, right? It's like right facing PFP, right? Avoid making a humanoid, which we broke that rule, right? Because humanoid art is very fucking hard. It's very hard. It's very, very, very hard. It has to be like 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. Like the forehead has to be directly in the center of the PFP. The lines need to be thick so that like you have like those striking features that can be shown in the little Twitter bubble, right? Like these are like some of the pieces that you need to have in order for like the art to really hit. And you need to have like a really concise color palette, right? So that like you don't have like all these clashing colors. And it's crazy, like it's crazy how many people like mess up on like these little things, right? And like I'm like dude, like we've like we're on a sprint right now because there was like some silly things that we've messed up on, right? Like I'll tell you right now, we brought down our color palette even further, and now it's looking like fucking crispy, right?
That's cool.
Like, dude, it's just over here I have some books on like color theory and design, and I've just been doing my best to like learn as much as possible. And right now I would tell you like our art, like we're in a really good place with it. And I'm gonna say that for a lot of NFT collections, what makes like their art like unique is like the base model. Like their base model is like what helps it like really like pop. But like for us, what's going to really pop is going to be like the attributes that we like layer on to these base models. Like it's going to be, these attributes are going to be very unique, very like rave themed, and they're going to like show a lot of like our like vibe. And yeah, I think that like it's really going to resonate deep with a lot of people. Like I personally believe that you'll find that like if you're like someone who dresses like in the modern era, and like someone who is just like like understands like like style, in like the more like younger, modern, like going out type of vibe, like it's gonna hit with you.
That's cool.
And if you like those really cool mythic, like epic type of vibes, like we're gonna have that too. Like we have some really interesting skins that are going to really like stick out, and like skins like these are just I don't think I've seen them in any collection.
Nice.
But like without a doubt, like we've taken a lot of inspiration from a lot of top collections, as well as like from outside. It's just it's just a learning process, bro. And all I can say is that I promise that I think I personally believe that we're gonna have the best art on Solana, like straight up. Like this shit's gonna bang, bro. Like this shit's gonna fucking bang.
Nice. And like, okay, so in the recent like collection that dropped on Solana, what kind of art did you like the most? Which one is a good one for you from your perspective?
I really like the female for the Mad Lads.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
I think
they
that
really nailed it, yeah, for sure.
yeah, I think the female Mad Lads really hits. Yeah, like, you know, I like the male, I think like the Mad Lads art was like really interesting, like all in
Mm-hmm.
all. Like I thought it was dope. Like I thought it was fucking dope. I think that, you know, I looked at it, like, you know, when it came out and shit, like, you know, I was working on my art at the same time and I was looking at it. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, like I see what they're doing here with like the color palette, and I see like how they're making some of the things pop, etc. I was like, okay, like this is all really, really awesome. And I think they have like great art. I think that like there's a lot that like we took away like as like some quick learning lessons to like, you
Nice.
know, move forward and like, you
Yeah.
know, really make sure that our art like, you know, kind of does our best to like one up that. But I think, you know, they have some solid art, right? For especially for humanoid, you know, I think I like congrats to the artist and like congrats to the team. Like I fucking, you know, I swept the floor on that shit.
Yeah.
Made a nice bag. Yeah. But I'd say that I also really like Lily art. Like the Lily art is
Okay.
like
Yeah, it's simple. It's clean.
yeah, it doesn't get like the credit it deserves. And I think the reason being is that because it lacks like I think like for me at least, like, you know, okay, by the way, I'm just being subjective about this.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I
100%.
think it lacks like the epicness that like that like collectors need for people to be like, oh shit, like I'll spend like 20K on this
Yeah.
shit, you know what I'm saying? Right? I think like Lily lacked that, but like their shit is so clean and like the lines are so nice and thick and like you can and like the female looks so great, the male
Yeah.
looks so great, like in the little PFP. Like it's just it's great. It's a great PFP. Like it's just a great PFP. But is it like can it reach like, you know, like Grail level? Like that's the question, right? And that's the thing that we're fighting with right now with Rave3 is like, how can we make sure that like we have pieces in the collection
Yeah.
that can reach that Grail level, right? And I think that like, you know, I think that Lily might have missed the mark on that a little bit. They have some pretty cool like, you know, mythic traits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it hits the Grail level. I think that
You can always fix that.
yeah, you can
Like,
fix it.
yeah. Yeah.
You can fix it. You can fix it. I just think that like you need to take that in consideration. Like you just need to like there's so many things that you need to take in consideration, but the most important thing is that like you need to understand from like a whale's perspective,
Yeah.
like what is gonna draw me in, right? And like yo, D-Gods really understood that. I mean, D-God like Frank was like talking to like Function, like probably like Free Lunch Capital, like Prince of Keen. Like he was talking to all these whales who were just like, yeah, like this will hit. Like I'll spend like 100K on this shit, you know.
But yeah, the thing with like with youths, like they've cleaned that, right? Because like you have like the premium trade, but like by having like no rarity, like then the community like also decide what like real like the value behind it. I know they trashed that for like the season 2 of youths and they're going back to rarity, but I like that aspect of it that the community decide like which trade is like the most valuable and put a price on that. And yeah, like but like even a common trade, like a not a common, but like a floor trade looks good too.
Yeah, I didn't really like that. I didn't like that. I think that it was a cool narrative that they were like trying to build. It got momentum, right? It got momentum, but it felt even during the time, it felt artificial, right? And like we had a lot of like youth communities like pop up, right? But like I don't see those youth communities anymore. And like
That's true.
I actually don't see a lot of like oomph from like any of these communities the way I see like, from the communities that some of these DGen holders have made, like, you know, like Jit DAO, the Mickey walk-in.
Yeah. That's because
like,
of the price, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the thing is,
like,
bro, like I like, you know, even with the youths, bro, like the one-on-ones, there's some grails in there, right? But like, dude, you don't have any grails in the collection, right? So it's like, how are you gonna get like those big buys, right? Like, you want those big buys. Like
that's true. That's true.
I think you want those big buys, right? We're in the early innings, so it's like everything I'm saying right now is like might not even make sense, but it's just like I don't know. I think that I think everything that they did was just very bold and like, you know, it hit, bro. It still hit. Like, you know, there's still like a top collection, but it's just like
yeah, no, 100%. And okay, so like the other possibility to fix that paradox would be like to do auction of grails after the mint drop, and then like the whales are whaling hard, and then you can even replace the metadata or add them directly to the collection or not, or you create like an honorary collection, and then you have like yeah, maybe including them into the collection is better, but yeah, that's also a possibility. Oh, it's yeah, thinking about that for Decod3rs. That's why I'm talking to you. That
yeah, yeah,
thinking out loud now.
yeah. Check out that sexy ute right there, though.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no, I love your like your Decod, man. You have a nice collection.
Yeah, yeah. Only one of my DGods is up there. This is all of DGen. DGen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She got the style, bro.
Nice.
Yeah, I got her in like right before the pump. I think she bought like in November, and then like when was it? Like the end of January is when she started.
Nice. Oh yeah, just before like the Decod release announcement even. Yeah, that's cool. That was perfect timing, man.
Dude, perfect, bro. She missed out on all the bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what also like put us all together. So yeah. Same thing, like bro, like what happened with Oogie reveal, it was 100% a Decod night. I'm telling you, like 100%. That shit will like the, you know, like they had like some issue with the reveal. People were waiting hours and shit to reveal their Oogie, and like at the end of the day, they had to postpone it for the week after. People on Discord, it was like pre-sale mint on Decod server, 100%.
Wow, that says a lot. Holy shit!
Yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, like it's we will see. Like it's kind of tricky because it can break or make your community. But if you have lived that shit and you stay and you buy more after that, in the next 6 months to 1 year, if they keep shipping like the good stuff, because even like the reveal experience after that, once it works, fucking pristine, bro. Like nice animation, like fucking, it was fucking cool, man.
That's the thing, bro. That's so interesting because I was like, yo, all of these like reveal mechanisms,
like,
yo, everyone's fucking them up. It's always they're delaying it, and it's like, is this like actually like net? Is this a net positive? Like is the, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this something that is actually worthwhile doing? Like, engineering resources, like, you know, like a lot of fun from the community. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still like trying to juggle with it. I mean, once we'll see what happens. Like if the Oogie community stays strong and like they stay thing, then like maybe like you want to do this. But I to be honest, I'm not sold on reveal mechanisms. I'm really not. I think that like just being able to like hit that button and then seeing that shit pop up on your wallet, that I think that's a W in itself.
It's I like the DGen mint before all of the whitelist and shit, like the whitelist meta. Again, like when we minted Decod, right? Like when you can fucking spend 100 SOL and click on this fucking button, and you have the whole adrenaline and stuff. That so you don't know if you're going to mint and miss that shit, man.
Dude, facts, bro. That shit was, those were the days, bro.
That was cool. And you can hype into a collection, right? So you can mint 20 or you can mint 40, whatever, right? Like press that fucking button.
Let's fucking go.
And now it's boring. You go to MetaJitt and you have 2 whitelists, and then you get your whitelist, and then you leave you there. It's I don't like that.
Yeah, I know, dude. That's the issue I'm having right now. I'm trying to like, I'm mulling it over around like the mint, right? Is that like I want to have a, like, we're gonna have a public mint, but like how much of that public mint, like how many NFTs can we allow for that public mint? Because we're gonna get botted, you know, we're gonna get botted.
That's the problem.
Like I don't want it. I don't want like my collection to just get like, you know, sucked in by one fucking botter. You know, so like that's the issue I'm dealing with right now. Is like how much am I gonna leave to allocate? You know, because I do want to give people like a chance to like go ahead and snipe something, but
like, but I think this whole like mint 20, it's kind of dead because of the fucking bot, right? Or you need to distribute like multiple whitelists. That's what I'm doing like with Decod3rs, man. Like I'm going to allocate like 3-5 whitelists to people, so at least they can meet multiple before it hits the secondary.
Yeah, that's
just allocate more to people, and then everyone and then it's like a first come first serve. So you get that, and you can mint a total of 5, 10, whatever. Fuck it, 20 if you want, and that's it.
Hell yeah.
So you have both, right? You still have you avoid all of the both, but you also allow people to DGen hard in your collection too, before it hits the secondary, and then you sweep the secondary market. But then that also means you lose that volume on the secondary too, right? But you want a huge secondary volume, so then you pop up into all of the analytics dashboard and shit, and so it's tricky.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they have minted and then they sell, so you still have the volume.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah, you need to have public. You need to have public mint in order to make sure that you have a good secondary volume.
Yeah.
Right. And then also I have been trying to figure out do you do vesting for people who got pre-sale, right? Do you do vesting? You don't. I don't think you do. You need to let everything out into the market. You just need to let the market play. Free markets are just have always shown to be better compared to when people try to manipulate shit. I don't think there's been a lot of successful collections that have done vesting or that have not done public at all. I think a good example. So actually, I'm gonna look this up right now. One collection I've been following. The art has been fire for this collection. It's called Raposa.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
Raposa. Hold on. But what was interesting about them is that they didn't. Okay. I can't even see what I can't see what the floor is, but they didn't do a public mint.
It was all pre-sale or full allocated. Yeah.
And I think that it went below mint at first. Yeah. So yeah, it's just I'm trying to understand these different dynamics to make sure that Rave3 has the most successful mint, and that all our holders are fucking happy and their bags are pamped. So,
but it's really hard to replicate all of that anyway, because you don't have the same community than a successful project anyway. Your vertical is different. You can't really replicate again the Decod/Bored Ape vertical, because it's done in just community, and that time passed, right? So it's tricky, man. But we will get there.
Yeah, dude. Time soon. We're gonna be minting very soon. We're just wrapping things up right now.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. Yeah, so we are over the hours, so we should wrap the show so you can go back to the grind and keep working.
Yeah, bro. I got a lot of shit I gotta take care of right now, to be honest.
No, 100%. I just have okay, do you have 2 minutes just for the last questions? Nice. Okay, so what's the question you wish people ask you but they never do?
That's a hard one.
I know. The reaction is even better. It's even better.
What Yo, I wish people would ask how I'm doing.
Yeah.
Be yo, how you feeling right now, bro? And I'll always be real with you. I'll be oh, I'm kind of hungry, to be honest. I like to eat. You want to eat and talk about life for a second, take unplug for a sec, I need moments like that, bro. My brain doesn't turn off. I'm sure yours doesn't either. It's just once you're passionate about something, you just want to be consumed by it. But we got to remember that we're human sometimes. So checking in on people, I appreciate when people checking on me. So
it's important to shuffle from time to time. Take a break and shuffle.
Exactly, dude. I gotta do that today. I gotta do a little bit of that.
And the last question is who should be the next guest, and can you make the introduction?
Oh shit, yeah. Oh fuck. Yo, okay. I think all right, I just had a really good call with two really cool people. I think one person you should probably get on here is NFT Boy. And he is
okay.
Dude, he is okay, so he just wrote this really fire thread on Rave3.
Yes.
He's a background in private equity. He's amazing with his research on NFTs. He identifies all the bangers. So that means Rave3 is gonna be a fucking banger.
Let's go.
And he's just really smart. I think that I think it'd be really cool to have him on and talk to him about like, you know, some of the interesting projects that he's like studied and watched. He's a part of the Doodles community, connected really well within the ETH overall. Dude's full-time Web3, so like, I think that's something I would definitely like connect you with. He's a fucking baller.
It will be done. It will be done. And if he's bullish on Web3, like, yeah, he is even more welcome.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, do you have any last thing to say, any announcement, any more alpha that you want to drop before we stop the stream?
Yeah, I just want to say that like Rave3 is just like accumulation of my life's passions, NFTs, and rave culture, and I'm giving this my all. And like, this is like, I'm just so fucking excited to just be able to release all of these ideas I had bottled up in my head. And I just want to tell everyone that, like, you know, make sure you follow Rave3 on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Discord. A lot of the alpha we're going to be dropping is going to be through Twitter. And dude, just get fucking hype. Like, just get fucking hype, because I am fucking hype, and like, I need that energy, and you guys are gonna need that energy. And like, once we have all that energy accumulated together, shit is just gonna go to the moon. I promise. Like, let's just fucking like, oh, dude, it's a great time. It's a great fucking time to be in crypto.
Yes, 100%.
It's a great time to be in crypto. Yes. And like, if you're here, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, like, you're right where you need to be. That's all I gotta say. Let's
go. That's it. You wrap up the stream perfectly, man. Thank you so much for spending like the last 1 hour and almost half. Sorry about that. We went into a tangent and stuff. That was like, thank you so much for accepting the invitation and like spend this time with us. Again, everyone in the YouTube lab and in the Twitter audience, thank you so much for coming up here. Again, follow Web3, follow MetaJitt, and also subscribe to the channel, because if you subscribe, you also have access to a whitelist. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your night, and we will see you in the next stream.